there, world traveler. Thanks for joining us. Hey, why don't you go grab yourself a snack, some tea, coffee, or a cocktail, whatever you fancy. Hey, you could even say hi in the chat section. We'll be going live soon.
Oh, you have the strangest way of loving someone, and it feels like it's all over before it has begun. Oh, but when we do collide, we're playing no games. Don't you know that kind of love must go down in flames? Oh, we should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. Two lovers on the floor, bandit on the store. Two lovers, one more. It's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. Oh, we do it again. Say what normal people do. We're often on like a light switch. You treat me like a punching bag. You better make it count. Oh, it's like the wise man said, the love is for no one. Love is a blind man who must be set free. Two lovers on the floor, bandit on the store. Two lovers, one more. It's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. Two lovers on the floor, bandit on the store. Two lovers, one more. Oh, it's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. We should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. Oh, we should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. Two hours on the floor,
You better wake me up, wake me up.
blood ain't on the sword.
You gotta rip it off, rip it off.
Two lovers, one more.
You better shake me up.
Hello again, world traveler. Have you grabbed your snack yet? Coffee, tea, or a cocktail? Well, if you're of age, did you grab a cocktail? If so, what'd you get? Also, if you don't mind, let us know in the chat section where in the world you're joining us from. We love to know where everyone's from. We'll be going live soon.
It's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. Two lovers on the floor, bandit on the store. Two lovers, one more. Oh, it's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. We do it again. Oh, we do it again. Oh, we do it again. We do it again.
Woo-hoo-hoo! The Don'ts of Peru with none other than Wolters World.
World,
Hangout
yes.
plus Q&A. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Dave.
And we are Turn It Up World. We're a fun travel couple that shares our travel and adventures. And this is our live stream. Woo! We go live every Monday. We really try and push for every Monday.
Yeah.
And yes, you're noticing the ears this evening. It is the 4th. It's also
Right.
Happy Star Wars Day.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force, may the 4th be with you.
Right. Cheers, everyone.
Well, if you're joining us for this live stream, thank you very much. We're looking forward to tonight's discussion with Wolters. Definitely chime in on the discussion. We will get to the questions. We're going to have a little bit different format tonight where we're going to be sharing our stories. We're going to be sharing some advice. We're going to be hearing from Mark and Joselyn from Wolters World, who many of you may know. And we'll get into a little bit more about who they are in just a second. And if you are joining us after this live stream, make sure what you do is you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time we post a live stream, just like this one. Okay? Just like this one.
Just like this one.
Why are we doing this tonight?
Well,
Because it's fun.
Yeah, because it's fun. Want to talk a little Peru?
Oh, yeah.
With Mark Wolters and Joselyn? Absolutely. So it's going to be fun.
I'm really stoked about this as well. You know, we have a love for Peru. We've been there, you know, several times. We actually had plans. We wanted to kind of explore a little bit more of Peru until, of course, obviously the pandemic happened and everything went shut down and lockdown.
Right.
So anyway, with that being said, I am super stoked to kind of get things rocking here. You ready?
I am ready. Absolutely.
Let's rock it. So first and foremost, like we always do, we want to say hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. If you have not already and you aren't here watching this and don't plan on chiming, that's perfectly okay. But make sure you give this a thumbs up because all the thumbs up goes a long way. And don't worry, I'll probably take these off halfway through, so we don't want to
hurt your head.
We don't want to scare
a little bit.
kind of hypnotise some of you
Right.
kids out there. But we should probably say hi to some of the folks that are in here.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I got quite a few folks. Quite a few new folks as well.
Oh.
Some, Wolters World folks. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, quite
Yeah.
a few new folks in here. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us. Hold on, so we got to give the new folks. Hold on, new folks.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining our live stream. So who do we got? Who do
Yeah,
we
we
got?
got Travel With Us by Warren and Julie.
Wow.
They're big Mark and Jocelyn fans, so thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us. Really looking forward to this.
And of course-
Travel with us.
And of course, Las Vegas Food Cat.
Hey, Kat.
Little
Love
bit
a
of a
little
name
change.
Little name
Hi,
change.
Kat. Thank you. Welcome. If you guys don't know, Kat is an amazing person. She's one of our moderators. Definitely check her out on Instagram. She is amazing. She puts out fun food content as well, and she's got a lot of energy and really a great person.
Yeah, we got Mr. Means to Travel.
Ooh, hello,
Yes.
Mr. Means to Travel. Welcome to the
Yeah.
live stream.
Nicole Fun Laugh. Thank you for joining.
Hey.
Yeah, and of course, Hidden Jackpots.
Hey, hit
So thanks for joining.
Another amazing, fun person. Great with trivia, especially with Las Vegas. He
Oh,
knows
yeah.
his ish. That is for sure.
Exactly.
And he's got
Except for some of those tough questions.
Except the tough questions.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
a little
didn't-
too tough.
That
Yeah.
was totally your
Yeah.
fault.
No, that's my fault.
Professor Vanelli, watch out. 'Cause
That's
let-
right.
Let me tell you.
If I can Google it. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks like we got Yvonne in
Yvonne's
here.
in
Hello,
there,
Yvonne.
yeah.
Welcome back as always. Thank you, girlfriend, for joining us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
Anne
that.
is here as well.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank
Anne.
you,
And-
thank you.
and Thomas, thanks for joining.
Hi, Thomas. Thank you for joining us. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
And of course, we run Las Vegas.
Wow, thank
Thank
you.
you
We
so
run Las
much.
Vegas. Good day, everyone. Thank you for the super chat. And he says, good day, everyone. What did he say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Good day, everyone. I hope you're all safe. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for the warm wishes. We are all safe here. We hope you guys are all safe and hunkering down. Again, thank you for taking the time out of your money to join us. We do appreciate that.
And Gio and JC.
Hey,
All
Gio
right,
and
thank you
JC,
for joining.
welcome. Hey, you guys need to definitely go check out Gio and JC. They're
Yes.
an amazing, fun travel couple. They just got married. Okay. And they like waffles. That's all I'm gonna say.
They like waffles? Make
Love
some waffles. We can make some
with,
waffles.
especially JC. He likes the waffles with the raspberry and the maple syrup.
Is that right? Yeah, very good. I missed that. Nice. I like waffles. Waffles are good. Mark is on. Mark Finley as well.
Hello,
Thanks for
Mark
joining.
Finley. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Glad
and
you guys are here.
yeah.
Oh, and make sure you guys grab a snack, grab a cocktail.
Yeah, what are you guys eating? What's
Yeah,
everyone eating
what
tonight?
are you eating? Put it in there and let us know where you are chiming in from because we love to know where everyone is honing in from this evening. Last time we had a lot of folks that were kind of scattered all over the place
Yeah.
from all over the world. I think we even had Australia in the house. So
Yeah.
definitely do that for sure. Chime in. May the 4th be with you. That's why I'm wearing these Star Wars ears. Let me tell you, but the conversation's about Peru.
Yeah, and actually we have Erica in the room as well, who was actually born and raised in Peru,
Wow.
but has been living in Iowa for a while.
Wow.
That's quite a change.
Hello,
Right?
and welcome. So I know you're probably looking forward to some of this this good stuff going on here tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, we got Forever Bookish.
Wow.
Oh, another
Hello.
Austinite. Austin in the house.
Austin in
Yes.
the house.
Oh yeah.
Welcome. Thank you. So we are definitely excited tonight. You know, the format's going to be a little bit different, like we said. So it's going to kind of be a conversation. We're going to talk to Mark about, obviously, if you guys aren't familiar with Wolters World, they are phenomenal. You know, Mark has been doing
yeah.
it for a very long time. And he travels with his family, Joselyn
that's really
and
cool.
the kids, and he really knows his stuff, and he loves Peru, which was really kind of great that he was willing to do this with us tonight because we also share a passion for Peru. Mark has joined a couple of our live streams in the past, and we thought it'd be a great idea maybe we can do this. And we're so happy that he did this. So first and foremost, we want to give a salute to everyone in here. And thank you, Mark, for
Cheers,
doing
everyone.
this. Cheers, everyone. And I'll tell you what I got in a second.
Yeah. See if you can guess what that is.
I bet you can't guess what
Yeah,
that is.
no.
No, you could probably guess what that is.
Yeah.
And I made it. I couldn't believe I made it. So,
Yes.
what are you guys drinking? What's on the menu for this evening? Because let me show you. We're just doing plain and simple tonight.
Yeah, I
A
made
little
some,
pizza.
yeah, I made us some nice, fresh, homemade frozen pizza. Not homemade. Homemade in the oven. Thawed.
What?
Right.
But we're really, really looking forward to that. And for cocktails,
Yeah,
I'm actually
Brian.
having a pisco sour. Pisco sour in the house.
Yeah, Brian got it right. Nice job.
Brian,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm really surprised that I made it and it looked exactly like a pisco sour.
But we didn't have bitters. Where are the bitters?
Why do you always have to spoil it? This is like the one you don't ever want to be
There's
around
no
because you'll
bitters
just tell all
over
your
there.
secrets. I just tell you. So we are going to pull Mark in just a little bit, but just to give you a brief, if you guys don't know who he is, and you probably should, they're a YouTube superstars in terms of travel. They got nearly 700,000 subscribers. No joke. And he actually has a really good sort of fundraiser that he's using as well. It's called Pause for the World. And you'll probably get in a little bit more of that when we ask him about that later on, but it's really cool. They got these cool t-shirts too that have like this pause button in the middle, like pause. Just take a step back and pause for the world, okay? Because that's what you need to do, pause for the world. But it's really great to kind of talk with him. He has a lot of experience in Peru. We share some of the similar stories. We've seen some of his videos. You should definitely go check them out. We put their information in the link below, just right below in the description. He's got his links to check that out.
Right. If you want to find the don'ts of a place, that's
Yes,
Wolters World, right?
yes, and they're
The
not
don'ts.
negative. They're not all negative
Right, no,
don'ts.
not
Some
at
of
all.
them might be, the good don'ts. Don't miss out on something.
Yeah, make sure you
Don't
do
miss
this.
out on it. Make sure you do
Don't
this.
not do this.
Don't not, because if you don't not, you will
Right,
not
exactly.
do it. Okay.
Don't not.
Don't not.
So you should do it. Right?
should
Is
just-
that do or don't?
I think that's not.
Is that a not?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I don't know.
We'll have to ask Mark.
We'll have to ask Mark when he's in here.
Right.
So what we're going to do, guys, is if you have any questions you guys want to ask Mark as well, we'll probably get to those in a little bit after kind of going through some of the experiences. I know some of you may be joining us because you've had trips to Peru.
Yeah.
You are going to Peru or may have to change your trips to Peru because of all this stuff that's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really, really stoked about that. And again, we just want to say hello to everyone in here. Thank you for joining us. I am excited. And if you have not already and you're joining us now, give this a thumbs up because
Thank
all the
you.
thumbs up goes a long
Thank you.
way. Goes a long way. All right, so we're gonna put on a little funky, we put together a cool little intro, just kind of showcasing, some of the things from Wolters World as well as our own in terms of Peru. So enjoy this. We're gonna get in touch with Mark. We're gonna get him on here. We're super excited to have you guys, join in on the conversation, and we're taking y'all to Peru virtually. Okay.
Are we ready? Here we go.
I think we might be ready. I just gotta
Next question.
I just gotta figure this up.
no question.
I just gotta ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Ready to watch it.
Here we go, y'all.
Yeah.
who popped up on the screen, everybody? It is Mark and Joss from Wolters World. How did you get in my house? How did you get in my house?
Hello.
We're so glad to be here.
Hello
Thanks
and
for
welcome.
inviting us.
Welcome. Wow, thank you first and foremost, you guys, for doing this. This is kind of exciting for us. We really enjoy a lot of the content you guys put out. You guys have been doing it for years. Mark, it's amazing what you and Joss do with two little boys and travel and still smile and kiss and hug and lick each other's faces because you know that's just.
I'm sure it's always perfect, right?
need to write a book
It's
about
all
that.
perfect.
It's not
Yeah.
the blue
We got the
milk.
blue drink. Gotta drink that blue drink.
It's the blue milk. So
Yeah.
first, we just want to do a
Cheers.
toast to you guys. Thank you so much for
Cheers,
joining us.
Tanya.
We really
Cheers,
appreciate
Dave.
that. And yes, we are all going to be talking about the don'ts, the do's, the don'ts, what you do, and what you do not do, and what you do not want to miss. All those, because this is about Peru. You know, we were just kind of talking to a lot of the folks in here, and a lot of folks are saying hello, Wolters World. Ann Scott is saying hello. Yvonne's saying
Yeah.
hello. You have a
Yvonne said
Mr.
the
Travel
sound
Beans.
is echoing. Let's
Oh,
see.
hey, Derek. Hey, everybody.
You're getting a little echoey sound, they say. Hold on a second. Let's see what's going on here.
Sound
Hold
up
on.
here.
Let's try. Is it echoing now?
Let us know. A little slight delay, but we'll find out.
All right, is it echoing now? Hold on. Maybe it's to the ears. A lot of refraction from these telescopes. That's the problem with these things. Little delay. So
Any better?
Mark and Joss, can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
You
Awesome.
sound beautiful. Dave sounds almost as beautiful.
Hey, wait till after Peach goes my singing voice. It'll charm you like the mermaids.
What do you guys have for food? You guys have some gourmet food?
I think they just
Yeah,
worked with
looks
the blue
like-
milk
looks
tonight.
like
the-
Oh, and
the
by the way,
opposite
y'all,
color.
you know what? It's the 4th.
Gourmet
it's
pizza.
May 4th. We're having gourmet pizza. We are obviously it's the I guess you would call it Happy Star Wars Day. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. May the 4th be with you. And so of course, Mark and Joss are having the famous blue milk.
One of your favorites. Between that and whiskey.
Yes, whiskey, but it's not Wednesday. We gotta wait for that one. That's coming up.
Exactly.
We put down a lot of
He's
whiskey
almost done with
on
that
this
bottle.
last few
I mean,
Wednesdays.
since he started these Wednesdays, shows,
that right? Yeah.
I think the bottle's really working its magic. It might have been he blew off the dust hard on that bottle. He's about to
Oh,
finish another one.
last week was.
that was
I think we finished that bottle last week.
yeah, we
That was the second
down
bottle.
to-
I
Third
love
bottle.
the sound of
Yeah.
that. So, Mark, I guess start us off. We were kind of just briefing them about this awesome sort of fundraiser, that you have this campaign with the Pause for the World. Can you tell us a little bit about, Pause for the World and where they can find this stuff and all that great stuff about Pause for the World?
So, Pause the World, when you travel, we all travel and stuff like this, and you really see need all over the world, and we really saw a lot of need in our own communities, and we thought, what way could we give back? Because we're not doctors, we can't stock shelves, we're not doing those things, so we put together this Pause for the World campaign, which allows anyone, any business, any organization, a creator, a YouTuber, Instagrammer, they can actually go and sell fun T-shirts, whether it's the Pause for the World logo or, like Dongle Party or You're on Mute or I've worn this shirt for 3 days. All these kind of things, and every item they sell, they get $10. So basically, all the donation stuff goes straight to them, so they can do that to help out their organizations in these times.
And anything that comes through our channel, or if people just go to Pause for the World and buy a shirt, or we've got sweatpants and all that kind of stuff too. If it goes through our channel, then that $10 goes to our local Meals on Wheels. So far, I think we raised like $600 for our local Meals on Wheels. So that, that's cool.
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels. Sounds like an Austin food truck. My favorite.
That's gourmet. Gourmet in Austin.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. And they can probably find that on your website. Links to that
Yeah.
on
If you just go
WoltersWorld.com.
pausetheworld.com,
Pausefortheworld.com.
and they go right there.
Okay,
So-
yeah, we'll put that down in the description as well. So you guys definitely go check that out and get those Meals on Wheels burning rubber, y'all. Burning rubber.
right.
Okay, Peru. Let's take them to Peru. This is why we're here, for a little virtual travel to Peru. Now, you guys saw the little bit of that clip in the beginning. The boys
good time,
eating
good
cuy.
time.
I had cuy, but it looked better if the boys were eating it versus Josh and I looking guinea pig. We'll blame the boys for that one. But tell us about your experience. Let's start with some of the don'ts. You kind of, one of the things is you've been to Well, many times actually. I mean, you've been there
you hiked
from
the,
a young buck as well.
Lincoln
You were there
Trail,
from
right?
like the college days and on to.
Yeah, I mean, I was
You had like
on
that
the
long
fairly
hair going
cool
on back then.
Yeah.
Right?
So take us back. Take us back, Professor. Let me get my blanket. Tell me a story.
Right, yeah.
Well, youngins, let me tell you.
Yes, that's right.
We had to hike the entire way. No, the first time I went was in '98, and it was funny because I did the Inca Trail, and when I flew in, the guy's like, "Look, dude."
Wait, hold on. Sorry, really quick. What year?
1998 was the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, and half the people on here was like, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't alive."
I love it. All right, go on. Tell me some more. What I eat.
Yeah, so I was in college and I went there to go hike the Inca Trail, the 4-day hike kind of thing, and when I got off the plane, the taxi guy that picked me up was like, "Dude, don't do anything today. You need to adjust the altitude." I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Because I was like 20. I'm like, I don't care, 21 or something like that. I'm like, I'm going to go. And so I like walk in the square and everything. And there's, people are like, oh, if you want to hike the Inca Trail, you can sign up here. And I'm like, okay, I'll go tomorrow. But all I had was like a big backpack, like thing. I'm like, well, I'm not taking that. So I bought this like little drawstring, rainbow colored, like woven backpack kind of thing. And use that as my pack for the 4 days.
Nice.
The best part is the first night I was bunking, or our tent was with I was with this Japanese guy, totally cool dude, and the first night I rolled over and broke my glasses.
Oh no.
Like, first night I'm like, no, and so I didn't bring my contacts. But the thing is, they give you all the coca leaves to chew on for the altitude. And somehow, chewing all the coca leaves, I actually could see like the trees on the other side of the mountain, kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I don't need glasses anymore.
Yeah, but
He was
that's why
magic.
they don't tell.
I
They're
thought I
not
saw
allowed in the
trees.
U.S.
Yeah,
because that's like Bausch and Lomb is trying to block that from the U.S.
Bausch and Lomb is blocking that from the U.S.
Like that.
No, the coca leaves
The
are
lobby,
getting it off.
the eyeglass lobby is too strong here for that.
I know. No, but it was funny because the last time we went was a couple years ago when we took the kids and Joselyn went and stuff. My parents went that time, and it was amazing how much had not changed, like in the center. But then like the other squares around, you could tell that a lot of tourist money had come in because like the food had gone from like, oh man, you don't want to eat too much, to like now when you go to Peru, you're like, you want to eat everything. It's like the foodie capital of South America, one of the foodie capitals of the world. It's just awesome.
So good.
Oh yeah, we completely agree. Like, we were definitely looking forward to that. I mean, obviously you've been there experiencing before the food is now phenomenal. We fortunately were able to go there hearing about the food being exceptional. So we are really excited to kind of try the different dishes. Obviously starting in Lima, it's pretty much, you're not going to get some of those eccentric dishes, like we'll get into later, I'm sure, like the guinea pig.
Right.
But I think the food is just amazing. I mean, everything obviously is right there. You have the oceans, the water, just the fresh fish of everything, and
Right, the blend of cultures.
the
too,
blend
right?
of cultures, like the
Lima and
chifa
Peru.
influence, and
Yeah.
lomo saltado, which is actually, we got some ingredients, and we've been kind of doing this fun thing. Obviously, during quarantine, as travelers, we're kind of all hunkering down here. Mark, you still there?
Oh no, they froze up.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Guys. Technical difficulties.
Oh,
I think we lost them.
And you're back. And that's all I have to say about that.
I told you, God dang you, I told you to get that 5G. None of that 3G stuff.
Right.
I
Exactly.
know.
And that was a great story.
Well, welcome back, everyone. So that was Mark's way of saying, can you hurry up and finish this story because it's time to eat.
Yeah.
No, but we were kind of just talking about like the food and our love for lomo saltado. We actually, obviously, since we're all kind of hunkering down at home, we're trying to be creative to keep, content flowing like we all are with our channel. We don't have an arsenal of material like you, Mark, from the 90s on now. You could put out a novel, I'm sure.
Right, exactly. You can kind of just
yeah, you're
rejigger one
like,
of those
wait a minute,
don'ts
he
and kind
looks
of throw
so
it up
young
there.
and hairful. and now
So stay tuned. We're actually got some ingredients from the grocery store. We're going to be making lomo saltado at home. So we're going to take you out to
nice.
brew in the
Wow.
kitchen. So it'll look
like
a lot different than this frozen pizza, that's for sure.
Yeah. And we do have a
Yeah.
question, actually. Can we go to a
Doing a lot
question
of that
quickly
lately.
Sure.
for Mark and Joss?
All right, so we're going to go to a question for Mark and Joss. We'll take a question.
And I don't know if you can throw it up there. It's from Hidden Jackpots.
All right, let me see if I can
So
pop
I'm
it
not sure
up
if you
there.
guys
Hold on
can
a
see it. I
second.
can read it if you need to, but we'll
I
see.
got it. So the question's from Hidden Jackpots. It says, question for Mark and Jocelyn. How many times do you have to travel to a place before you know the do's and don'ts? Good question,
most
Hayden.
of the
Good
places
question.
we've gone to, we've been to quite a few times. I don't know. Because we'll do tons of research beforehand before we go, and if we know some of the people that are from there, we're going to ask them what they think about it, and then we'll put it out there to our fans and fellow travelers. Because a lot of people are like, look, if you're going to come, you need to know this and this. And so we kind of take it all together, and then we'll be there for a few days before we film, just to make because people will tell you one thing and you'll read some things. You're like, you know what, I need to make sure I got my own feel for this, and so we'll do that for a while, and then as we've been traveling so long, you kind of notice some of the usual hiccups along the way. Whereas some locals get really upset about things. Like, no, it's not a bad thing. It's just like you just need to know about it, So, yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I think it's like, for me too, like even visiting a place, I think it only takes one time. I mean, you obviously know some of the do's and don'ts after visiting a place, what you don't do, where you don't go, and what you don't want to miss.
Those
So
basics.
after research, the research is half the battle, and getting there and it's now right in front of your face. I think it takes one time. We did a lot of research with Peru, in terms of what neighborhoods we probably shouldn't wander ourselves into, and even in the most gorgeous parts of Lima, you have to still be careful. Obviously now more so with the integration with Venezuela and a lot of people kind of migrating in there, that may not be the best just because there's no.
Well, it was interesting. We took an Uber to the airport right from downtown city center, and the Uber driver was so careful with his cell phone. He would kind of hide it as we were driving through some of the back roads. He was trying to avoid some traffic.
Yeah, keep your pocketbook under your floor to see. When he was using the Uber, he actually had a cover on top of his phone so that the light from the phone was not shown, because he says he was fearful that, and that was coming from an actual local.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
We never experienced obviously that, and so we're just obviously the Americans like, woo.
Yeah, we're ready to kind of take our cameras out and film everything.
Yeah, he's like,
he's like hiding his camera. We're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't film out the window.
We shouldn't be filming with this lens out the window. So we just better cut it out.
Everybody, take the camera.
Yeah, so we learn. Obviously, we share our experiences, and whether it's good or bad, we do realize that there's going to be folks that may disagree with what we have to share because they may not have experienced it. But you're always going to get the good and the bad, with whatever. And I think our position, as well as yours, is to kind of share those with whomever may want to travel to these destinations. Because overall, I think it is so beautiful. It was one of our first trips, and I think that kind of solidified the bond for us to really just want to take things to another level from the different hikes and traveling. So, Mark, let me ask you this. Let's get into some of the don'ts here. So, when you say don't freak out about the coca leaves, elaborate a little bit more about I know you had the experience of having 20/20 vision, but give us a little bit more.
It's like a bad 20/20. It wasn't like a bad 20/20 vision. It's like, oh my eye. It's like when you first put glasses on the first time, you can see. No, I think because a lot of people, when they go to the high altitudes, because you're not going to have it everywhere, but if you're like Cusco, people have a lot of problems with Cusco. Machu Picchu, you don't have it. But people are like, oh, coca leaves, I'm not going to have that. I'm not doing that. I'm like, dude, it doesn't have the bicarbonate or whatever that kicks in the.
It's not cocaine.
It's not cocaine.
Exactly.
People totally freak out about it, and you're like, no, it's okay. And especially with that altitude, the tea really, really does help. And a lot of people, they don't do it right away. They wait a couple days after they've been miserable. I'm like, look, you get in, I guarantee your hotel is going to have a cup of coca leaf tea there for you. It's like, throw a couple sugars in there, drink a couple of those, and realize you are not going to sleep.
Right. And it's and you're flying from sea level generally, right, from Lima up to Cusco. So that's a big change, and you feel it right away. I remember we had a perfect day, beautiful descent in, really kind of curving around. Tanya was very comfortable with the plane curving as we were going through the valley.
Half my nails in David's neck.
What a gorgeous land! What a beautiful airport and place to land.
Yeah.
But right when you got off, they had coca leaves right there.
But I want to hear this really quick. What did you guys think of that going into Cusco? And everybody, for anybody that is thinking of going to Cusco, there's only one way in. And Mark, what was your experience?
Right, unless you take the bus or
with
something,
that. Unless you
yeah.
take the bus,
Yeah.
but you know.
The first time I flew in, I was on a plane that didn't have seatbelts on all the seats.
Oh no, you're like flying around.
So I had to actually move to another row to have a seatbelt. So it was, hey, it's a lot safer than it was back then, I'm sure.
You had a helmet on, right, to protect yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, this time wasn't too bad, but yeah, because you come in and then you're like, oh, there's the mountains. Oh, they were there. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you take off, it's so high. You're like, come on, well, you can do it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Oh wow, there we go. We got a visitor.
We got a visitor.
Little doggy.
Don't worry, you might see every so often our fat cat will come in here
Yeah.
and show his face.
Looking for
Just
food.
Looking for a pizza.
I'm looking for some food.
Apparently,
Well,
our
that's
dog
awesome. So
milk is interesting.
really?
Yeah.
He's got to get his 15 minutes. The dog's
Yes.
got to get the 15 minutes of fame. So
Scratch
tell me,
your
what
ears.
is what's your favorite dish? I think someone actually
Yeah,
asked
actually,
that
someone asked
question.
a question. Who was that? Let's see.
So Erica Smith asked for Wolters World, what's your favorite Peruvian dish?
I personally ate my weight in ceviche. I just, and you know, I guess that was mainly in Lima, but I ate piles and piles of ceviche.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think for
Salty
the
salt's
well
my favorite.
for Liam and me, I love the alpaca steaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put those down. I mean, because Liam was. I mean, it's been a few years, and Liam got there, and he's 9 now, so he was probably like, I don't know, 6. And he put down one whole alpaca steak, and then we actually were. It was a nice restaurant too, and we ordered another one, and he put a second one down. I'm like,
Wow.
you're either growing.
Was it a
like
thin
that.
piece or was it pretty thick?
Oh, it was like.
Oh, so it was
Oh,
a real
yeah. I
thick
mean,
piece of steak.
I mean, it was a legit. I had one too myself, and I was full. And I don't get full.
Yeah, see, we had the alpaca. Now we had it actually from a chef. He lived in it was in Cusco,
yeah, right
I think the
outside.
town right outside of Cusco.
Yeah.
And it was a really thin. Of course, this was hard initially for us because initially took us to one of the places where the ladies are making the alpaca
Yeah.
wool and the gift shops.
taking
and
photos
they're
with
taking
them
photos
and-
with the cute little
Ooh.
alpaca. I'm like, oh my god, you are so cute. I want you as a pet. And then
It's
he's
what's
like,
for
I'm
dinner?
like, what's for lunch? Alpaca. I'm like,
Alpaca. What's for dinner?
But it was interesting because it was a little bit. Obviously, pocket meat is very healthy, but it was
It was a little
tough.
tough. A little tough.
But the wakatay sauce, the green sauce, is the wakatay.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was amazing. That actually added lots of flavor to
Right.
the.
I think there were carrots, potatoes, which are,
Carrots,
of course,
potatoes.
super fresh as well.
But that's
Yeah.
amazing that your kid actually got a 6-year-old. That sounds like Julia. Julia's like she would totally throw down anything where Emma's like, ugh, not gonna
Right.
go near that. That's amazing.
Yeah, but that was a couple years ago. You know how they changed the next trip? They're like, nah, I'm good.
Right? Yeah.
Because they know now.
Like-
It's like, oh,
like
wait a
today
second,
we
is
had
that
one
the
of these
same
conversations.
animal? Is that the
You
same?
eat,
Is
like-
that the same animal that Mom's jacket sweater's from?
Right.
We're like,
It's that gorgeous hat, that gorgeous sweater.
Animal
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah,
That's
they're like,
right.
nah.
It's
So
good
just tell us.
conservation.
I'm sorry.
It's good conservation. You're using the entire animal.
Well,
That's a good
that is good way to think.
I know.
Absolutely.
Fine.
Gotta manage, you know.
See, it's like the
That's a
guinea
good
pig,
way to think
right?
about it. Whenever I'm
It's like,
thinking like
oh,
alpaca, I'm
use it
gonna
for a
say,
pet, and then when it
you know
gets
what?
fattened up,
They're using the whole animal. So, Josh, you love ceviche. What was your most memorable part of Peru? From the places you've been in Peru, what's like your most memorable moment in Peru?
Probably
Positive or
Look-
negative?
look at
Positive
Mark's-
or negative?
Look at Mark's face.
He's like, don't say it, don't say
He
it.
said, "This is one of the don'ts you don't talk about.
You don't
talk
talk
about it."
Yeah, you can't talk about that.
The thing that I enjoyed the most, or that was my biggest surprise, I think that I really loved, was the Sacred Valley.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. And we only scheduled like a day and a half. Like we got there in the early afternoon, and then we had a night, and then the next day, and then we left.
Well, no, then you had another night because remember
We
I
had
went
2
live.
nights,
Two
and
nights.
then we took
I
off.
forgot.
And so I wish I had more time there. But the most memorable thing, but not for a good reason, was the god awful altitude sickness. We got to Cusco. Well, first we were in Lima, and then we went to Arequipa to visit some friends of my mother-in-law's, and which was great. But that first day, I was pretty down. I was taking oxygen and drinking my weight in coca tea, and
And how high is Arequipa? Is that about, is it 8,000 feet or higher than that?
It's a little lower than Cusco.
It's lower than Cusco,
Yeah.
but it's higher than Machu Picchu because it's up there because that's where you have like Juanita the mummy.
Oh yeah.
Is right around there, so it's
Yeah.
like high altitude, dry.
And
That's
it's all
where
kind of that white stone in
Yeah,
Arequipa.
Right.
it's called
Yeah.
White City.
And then and I kind of had it there, but I wasn't like dying.
Let's go to Cusco.
I went out a couple of days, but when we got to Cusco, the first day and a half, I really thought I had to go to the hospital. I was that
Wow.
sick. It was just,
Wow.
it was terrible. And I thought it was crazy because as a kid, I lived in southern Arizona and we were up in mountains all the time. I thought, oh, this is never going to affect me.
Yeah, she was
Well, we
way.
get a
she
little
was
bit older.
way-
Things get a little bit more sensitive up here.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. We actually flew into Cusco and we actually went down just because we learned from our experience. When we were in Mexico, we had 4 days. We're trying to rush to do everything in Mexico City. So we wanted to do this hike and we liked to hike. It was
Nevado de Toluca,
Nevado de
which is a
Toluca,
volcano outside
which is
of
a volcano outside of it.
Mexico
So,
City.
Exactly. So we got there. We pulled a mark, a 1998 mark, where we're like, you know what? Let's schedule this. We just got to Mexico, a little higher altitude, and we'll do this the next day.
Right, we flew in the night and then immediately went up to this high
Yes.
altitude volcano.
And I was initially
Good idea.
Whenever we're working out, I'm like, Dave, you have to learn to breathe. It feeds the oxygen through your mind. And he's like perfectly
I actually
fine.
finally listened to that.
He finally
yeah,
listened.
Yeah, Tanya always tells me, how to breathe.
Yeah.
How do you breathe? And so I actually started listening for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I was breathing like just incredibly deeply.
Yeah, and he
for the
was
first
perfectly
time.
fine, and I was falling asleep ready to go back down on the mountain, which you shouldn't do if you get to that high altitude.
Yeah, we had the oxygen meter. We had a guide with us who kind of took our oxygen levels.
She was
and
really-
eventually she was like, that's it.
That's it.
We're turning around.
And I'm like, of course, when the oxygen kind of gets to your head, I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe. We didn't make it. But you know,
We got along
we
great.
learned our lesson. We learned our lesson. And we actually, with Cusco, we knew we were going up to higher altitude. So we actually went down to Ollantaytambo. And we kind of stayed there to try to acclimate,
Yes.
which is where we decided to do horseback riding. And of course, those Peruvian horses have a little bit of a different hair than the horses that we're used to back here. So Dave was on it and he's riding and we seem to be perfectly fine. And he gets off and he's like,
Yeah.
my throat is kind of,
I just completely swelled up. Kind of like, remember how Harry Potter swelled up in that movie?
Yes.
When they
If
kind
you-
of tried to hide his face.
It was like, is that Harry?
Who is
Harry?
that?
Who is that? And it was kind of scary. It was a scary moment because
my throat was all swollen
yeah,
up.
and then he had fortunately, we had great folks that were there.
Yeah, they
there was
really-
actually a little medical center that they took us to, and it was the funniest thing. I
They gave me
kid
a
you
shot
not.
of some good
They
stuff.
gave him a shot, but they also gave him like an IV, and the bottle like a wine bottle.
Did they? Did
The
they?
IV.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I think they did. They were pumping it with some fluid, so it was
This is
just
all good stuff.
It was all good stuff. At the end of the day,
Some of that coca leaf.
and yeah, you need just coca leaf to cure it all. But we learned our lesson. But I will tell you, Josh, I feel your pain on that one because the altitude really, got to me too. It was like the headaches just wouldn't stop. I thought I was confident and I could do this, and it was like, it was really bad. It didn't stop us from doing what we had to do. The coca leaves helped a little bit, but there's only so much coca leaves I can pull out of my teeth. It was
Right. Well, the toughest part wasn't
true.
that initial. It's when we actually started to hike an Inca trail, not to Cusco,
Huchi
but
Cusco.
up the Sacred Valley, and we got some good altitude there. Stayed with an indigenous family, and it was tough. The altitude was really. You always kind of feel a little bit loopy, right, in the altitude.
You
just a
feel
little
kind of
bit.
drunk, right?
A little foggy.
Oh, yeah. You feel like you are just, I don't know. You're completely. I felt, if I, truth be told, I was really scared at one point, and I think I told Mark this. We were talking a little bit yesterday. How, and this is one of the stories, guys, we're going to tell you, and then we're going to get to Mark, because I like to hear some more stories from them as well, what happened with them. But we were talking to Mark about how we hiked up this, the Huchi Cusco Trail to the homestay where we stayed with an indigenous family up in the mountains. And I got to the point up top and my left knee was so swollen and I was so scared because it was like an all-day trek, and you're in the altitude. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, we may need to get a helicopter for me to get down because there's no way I'm gonna be able to walk down. So of course, they understand the medicinal plants and the herbs, and it's just amazing the knowledge that the indigenous Peruvian folks in those mountains, they just know how to survive. And so they said to me, we're gonna, put some kind of greens or whatever the plants that they were going to put on my leg, and I'm sitting there saying, looking at Dave like, yeah, okay, this is going to work. We might need to get a helicopter, but I'm going to go along with it because we have to sleep here tonight, you know. So they rubbed this warm water after they boiled it with the leaf that was supposed to help take down the swelling, and God damn it, it was actually amazing. Actually, the next day I woke up, my knee was not swollen. I was able to trek back down, which was unreal.
Right.
So I was pretty excited about, you know, obviously modern medicine here is just a gimmick because it works for them over there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But that was interesting. There was a little bit of a language barrier between us and the guide, because we said, oh, we're going to stay with a family in the town where we end that day. And so we were kind of thinking, okay, we'll stay in kind of a regular town with kind of running water and power and all that. And of course, we ended up staying at a house, you know, in the top of this mountain ridge, where there was like barely any power, nothing at all.
It was freezing cold. I had open-toe sandals, nothing, and all my warm stuff I had in a bag. But it was like I was not prepared. It was crazy.
You know, the place we stayed was basically like a hut. You know, you had a dirt floor
Mud
with
bed.
a eucalyptus, you know, stove where they just had a eucalyptus fire going. They cooked an amazing stew for us.
Yeah,
Actually, amazing food.
Sounds amazing.
It was
but
awesome.
but we didn't have enough fluids. They were boiling water for us all the time to drink. You know, so we were drinking like boiled water because we didn't realize we wouldn't be able to get actually like Gatorade or bottled water down at the store. There's no store up there.
So wait,
where
now
we're
we
staying.
kind of talk about some of our.
Yeah.
Give us some stories. I want to hear some cool stories of you guys in Peru, please.
On the water note, I have one of these water purifier things, and it's like a pen almost, and you put it in and you swirl it around. It's got UV lights and blah, 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 and whatever. That's one of my do's for Peru, because there are times when you're out and if you aren't able to carry enough water with you, you may need it. So that's something I bought before. And I've taken it to a lot of countries with us. I've taken it all over Central and South America, Africa. You know, anytime we're hiking, like even like in Europe where I know that I can drink the water, I still take it just in case we're out hiking somewhere and, you know, you don't know what kind of bacteria is in water. So, you know.
That's really smart.
It's so different these days. I remember hiking with my dad as a kid, and we would just kind of find running water and fill up the bottle and drink it no problem. But now it's a little different these days.
Not today. Not today.
That was way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back when we were young.
Right, exactly.
Shh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's a good moisturizer. It works pretty well. Josh, you know.
Right.
You
Gotta
know.
keep it going.
It's great.
We have
let's
some
take a
questions. Should we take some
we got a couple
questions?
questions, so let's take some questions.
Okay, we have a question from Mr. Means to Travel.
All right, let me find Mr. Means to Travel.
There's two questions. The first one is, how long do you all think? Let's see if we can pull that up.
There it goes.
Yeah,
How
there you go.
long do you all think you need for Peru coming from the U.S.? Is 10 days enough?
So I think if you're going to do 10 days, you're going to do Lima, Cusco, Machu Picchu. You could probably throw in another town like Arequipa, or you could go to Puno and see Lake Titicaca. So you could throw that in there.
You said
that,
You said it.
it's like
a lot of the
Beavis and Butthead
flights
moment
come in
there.
really early and they leave really late at night, or like around midnight-ish.
Yeah.
So you have like this weird like, yeah,
Time
you're going to be paying for extra hotel rooms that you're not going to use just to make sure you have that. But there's plenty of flights to go around. But yeah, I would say like have your day or two. Don't put all your Lima days in a row. Have your Lima days on the front and back end, and then do your travels in the middle, because then it's like, oh, you have 2 days in Lima, but it's the first day and the last day to see the stuff, and then you hit the really more like not impressive sites, but like the more well-known tourist sites in between. So yeah, Derek, you can pull that off, but you'll get like max 3 places.
But you know, if you're me, if you know that you're going to have a hard time and you're going to struggle with the altitude, I'd throw in an extra day or two just because you might need it. I don't think it hurts to have 12 days. We did not get to go out and see what do you call it? The Nazca lines. Yeah, we didn't get to see that, and I really wanted to do that. But that was a pretty expensive offshoot, and there are 4 of us, so. You know,
it gets 4 times more.
Sometimes we don't do things because of that. So that would have been another day for us. But I could have spent another day in Lima too, just because my mother-in-law and I love to buy art. We bought.
That's me.
I have at least 4 paintings from Peru.
The little boy.
The little lady. The
the
little
troubled lady,
up
yeah.
there. Just incredible art on the
My
streets.
mom got the little
and
boy.
Your mother got the little
You're,
boy.
you're absolutely right. There's amazing. Where's the park? It was the
Miraflores.
Parque de Flores.
Yeah.
The Parque de Flores,
Yeah.
where you have on a certain day they close down the street, and they have actually we were there. It was so funny. They had this live, and I jumped. Dave got on film. I jumped right on the street with all those.
Oh, that's by the cat park. That's by
the cat park.
Kennedy Park.
Kennedy Park.
Yeah, in Lima.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and it was amazing. We jumped on the street, and I'm doing all the exercise with ladies.
Yeah,
all
exercise
that.
going on.
Woo!
Uh-huh.
And the art when we kind of went into the Kennedy Park, where they
Yes.
basically all set up on a Sunday. I think it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the different artists, absolutely incredible. And you're right. Like if I was
Like
smart, I would
talent-
have gotten the art. You know,
Yeah.
we were thinking about picking up some pieces, but I think we're heading to another place, so I didn't
Right.
do it. But
Yeah.
you're right. The art's beautiful.
I mean, I feel like I have 2 oil paintings by the same artist that I feel like they're gallery worthy. And, you know, I mean, they were just and I went to art school. So when I look at these, I'm like, I critique things before I buy them. And these are probably 2 of the best pieces I own. And they were really ridiculously inexpensive. I felt kind of bad. For the price.
And like it's my mom.
Like, I'll pay a
she had
double.
friends- My mom had friends that were going down to Peru after we went, and she's like telling them, "If you go, could you pick me up a piece? I don't care what you get me,
Wow.
but this is the guy to go to." So she was trying to get people to go to this, and apparently they were there during the week, so he wasn't there. But it was
Pick me
pretty
up a
fun.
couple
Yeah.
of those big pieces of art. I don't
Yeah.
care what it is.
Well, if you feel bad, you can negotiate up. You know,
Yeah.
just kind of offer them double.
Yeah, whatever they offer you,
Like what?
you tell them you'll double it.
You know, no.
That's
And
right.
you do find that in Lima, there's a lot of amazing talent. I mean, the talent is unreal, even from the wood carvings. We noticed even actually a couple of instruments, the dolls that they make, and how the women, especially like the indigenous women, you'll see them constantly walking down the street with their spools
Right,
of yarn,
constantly.
weaving and weaving the yarn, which I just found to be unbelievable.
Right, of course, in Barranco, all the street art too is
Oh,
amazing.
yes.
Right.
Yes. So, what would you warn folks to be careful of? And let's start in Lima. If you're going to Lima, what should you look out for? Be careful of.
So if you're going to Lima, I usually tell people don't stay in Lima itself. Go stay in Miraflores. That's
Right.
That's the safer district. I mean, it's got all the trappings that you want as a tourist because there's some museums there. It's got the parks. It's got lots of restaurants. You can eat outside. Don't have to worry about too much because there are parts of Lima you don't want to go to. And like you can go to the center and see the historic center and stuff like that. And a lot of people want to stay in the historic center. I'm like, I don't know if that's really the best place to stay. I think it's better to go into the city and visit the downtown historic stuff and then go back out to Miraflores and stay there. So that's what I'd recommend over anything else. And anytime, whenever we do South America, I always recommend, leave the bling at home. And that's kind of like anywhere you go. Even if it's safe, it's just like, why make yourself more of a target? But in general, Peru hasn't really had too many issues. I mean, it's not, Shining Path has been gone for quite a few years. So you don't have like those things like in the 80s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're right, and they're so big into, obviously, the tourism for Lima has blown up astronomically. So, the government has a real big hand on trying to keep things safe, to keep that tourism flowing. And I know there was a big influx of folks from Venezuela, which drew some concern, but I think the government, from what I've been reading, have really tried to put a handle on that to keep the tourism part safe. Obviously, no one's traveling right now because of the situation.
Right.
But
we agree. We stayed in Miraflores. We love Barranco. Right, and we took the bus actually. Had a great bus service downtown city center, but it was packed.
It was packed.
I mean, we were just packed in there like sardines with our backpacks
times
on.
have changed. I will never do it again. But it's so funny because they're like position yourselves where you can kind of see this way and see this way. I'm like, David, why are we getting on this bus? Like, what are we doing?
So
what are we
packed.
doing?
Yeah.
It was really cheap, but it was interesting to really get the experience. One time to do that. But the traffic is horrendous.
And the nice thing about the bus though is a high occupancy lane. It had its own lane the whole way to the city center, pretty much. So you kind of cruise through the traffic, which was nice.
Yeah. So leave the bling. Mark's right. Leave the bling at home.
Yeah.
Don't appeal to. I mean, if you gotta put your camera, put it in your bag and keep it in the front of you. I always have all the pockets zipped up and it's in front, and nothing in your pockets at all, unless you got like a mouse trap, so somebody puts their hands in it. Hiya, gotcha.
I don't like my pants,
get it.
all the zipper pants, but trying to make sure they were still zipped and all that.
Exactly. So now in Cusco, what don't you do?
So for Cusco, we've already talked about don't mess around with the altitude sickness. Don't just go right away. I would say don't underestimate this Sacred Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people just like, I'm going to Cusco to go to Machu Picchu, and they don't realize that, no, Cusco's like a UNESCO site by itself, you know? And
Right.
so,
Wander through Cusco.
so wander through there and really and spend some time, because really, I mean, I talked to a lot of the tour guides and stuff there, and they're like, yeah, people fly in, they go right to Machu Picchu, and they're like, no, you need to spend at least a couple of days just to take in the stuff in Cusco, and then you got another at least a day doing the Sacred Valley or two, and then you got your one day you go to Machu Picchu, because you go to Machu Picchu, you see it, then you leave, unless you stay in Aguas Calientes, which is like the most over touristy place.
Oh
in
my
the
God.
world.
We stayed there one night.
Woo! One's enough.
Yeah.
That's all. It's great to experience, but boy, it was like the gotcha moments. Everybody's just kind of gotcha, and it's amazingly overpriced. It's like, are we still in Peru? Is this New York City? Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously.
I do
Exactly.
have a question on that
Thing
from
is,
Means to Travel.
It was.
yes.
It's
so we
changed
do
a
have-
lot since '98, but it's changed a lot since '98. But it's still, it was just the '98 version of that. 20
Well, you
years
know
ago.
why? I mean, it's kind of the hub before Machu Picchu. So it's really a town designed for tourists that are hunkering down there for an evening to go to Machu Picchu.
It's like when you go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and that was probably
Well,
some of the worst
that's-
food we had. Probably some of the worst food we had in Peru was in Aguas Calientes. You
Yep.
know, it just was not very good, and it wasn't cheap either.
No.
Right. Now I know
it's
they
like-
had some serious flooding.
Yeah, just like these.
they
Pizza's
had some
like
serious
that
flooding
too.
in December,
Mark's like,
right?
what are you saying at the new
Right.
Walmart?
Did you? Now, were you there at all during? I know they had some flooding. I think it was back in December, just recently, where the train tracks were washed out and things like that. I'm not sure what's happened, since then, obviously.
Oh,
with
I don't
everything
know. That
going
was a
on.
great train ride. We enjoyed that. The kids really liked that too.
Yeah, it was very different taking the train than doing the hike. 'Cause I remember the hike, when I hike Inca Trail, I mean, if anyone's going to think about doing it, it's a legit hike. I mean, there's one day you only go 1 kilometer this way, but you go like 4 kilometers this way and up and down. And I mean, I remember thinking, like, this is the awesomest thing I've ever done, and I will never do this again.
Exactly.
You know, I was like,
Exactly.
this is
the
amazing.
most
I hate my
amazing
life.
thing that I will never ever do again.
Right. The train is amazing. The views from the train, you get in the kind of the glass bubble top windows,
Right,
just
you wanna
incredible.
you definitely want to go for
Yeah.
like for you guys that are tuning in that maybe going to Peru. If you're going to do the train, I definitely think like, and Mark, you can either back us up with this one or maybe offer your opinion. The Vista Dome, the one that has like the 360 kind of view, is
It
really
is worth it.
Absolutely.
It's worth it.
Yes.
And you get like we had like chocolate cake and pisco sours.
Right.
Over there.
I got a
we
beer.
actually met this wonderful couple from Morocco, and if you guys are watching, we may take you guys up on that and head out to Morocco because they invited us
Yeah,
to
they
come
invite
out
us.
there.
We got to get out there.
But it was amazing, like the Vista Dome. And so it's really, if you're looking to kind of enjoy the experience of the train, you have the Hirambingen, which is obnoxiously expensive.
Right.
Or you can do the Vista Dome, which has a little bit more of a reasonable rate to it, and you get the same beautiful views as you're heading to Machu Picchu. What would you guys say about that?
I think as long as you have the bubble, it's worth it.
Right.
It's
'Cause
everyone has their own opinion and their own budget, but I really think that it is worth seeing, from the
The bubble part.
360
'Cause
thing. Yeah.
I did when I did the hike. We came back. I came back on that train line where you're just like sitting in the windows like this, and I mean, I don't know if it's as crowded as it was back in my day when I took it back on that. But I was glad I was a lot thinner back then.
Well, that's because
So-
now we got some questions, so I'm going to throw some questions at you guys. So one right here from Means to Travel. She says, do you guys have any thoughts about hiking to Machu Picchu versus taking the train? Now, I know you kind of shared a little bit of the story of 98, and we also shared the story of the train, but what's your thoughts on that?
So we know Means to Travel and her husband, Mr. Means to Travel, through YouTube. So Eliz and Derek are a young married couple without kids. So if I were them, I would hike it now and then go back later with your kids and take the train.
Yeah, and I would also say, oh, break no. And I also, our dog wants to play.
That's nice.
He's like, you will play with me now.
Now, what about there's a kind
I would
of
say
many
if you're
different
going
ways
to
to
hike-
go there.
What?
What was that?
Oh, the question is, I know there's multiple ways. You can take the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, but there's
Yeah.
also some other routes to take. Have you thought about any of the other ways to go?
Well, there's actually multiple hikes you can do. There's like 4-day, 3-day, 2-day,
Right.
1-day ones that just kind of starts you at different spots. I think for you to have that, like, yeah, I did it, you should do like the 3 or 4-day one, because what the amazing thing is the ones that have the overnight, you're hiking up there, you're overnight, and it's like you're in bed by 5 because the rain came at 6, like every night when we were there. But you get up so early and you hike, and I remember when we came over, the Sun Gate, when you're like, you watch the sunrise on Machu Picchu. And the thing is, this isn't like, oh, there's guardrails. Maybe there's guardrails now. But when we were there, I'm like, dude, someone could follow their death right here. It's like little Indiana Jones jumping over
worry, it's all safe.
collapsed walkway and stuff.
Yes. Now I think I'm looking at you guys.
Your
It says
screen froze on us. We hear you, but the screen froze.
Oh. Hey, could you guys turn off that little fuzzy background thing on the Skype? Because it's really weird because it like switches
Oh, it's
between
back
you
on?
two, like,
Back on. I thought we turned it off.
Keeps on kicking back on us.
Jeez Louise.
It's funny, we don't see it on ours, but everyone else does.
It's really disconcerting because one of you is just a fuzzy blob, and
That's
then
so
the other
funny.
one's here, and then it goes back and forth.
That's so weird.
Can you see
Sorry
us
about that.
again?
It's so funny
Technology.
because
I know, right?
I turned it off. I thought, but
I'm so
No, you
incredibly
did, but then we had to
grateful
redial
for
back
it.
in, and maybe that.
I got
is when
you.
we had to do it.
because I see you guys are frozen. They say you guys are frozen.
Here.
Let me call back.
We'll
Beautiful
here.
smiles,
I'll put you right
but-
back.
Yeah, it's actually,
okay?
don't worry, it's frozen perfectly.
It's frozen perfectly, like beautiful smiles.
I don't
Not
have
for
my
Mark,
finger
but
in my nose.
other than that, it's good.
All right. Yeah, it looks like we may have to call you guys right back.
Okay,
All right, call
All
us
right,
back.
calling you right back. Here we go. We're gonna load up on some questions.
here we go. Yeah, we got some questions. Yeah, see, it's that fuzzy back.
All right,
Is that better?
It is, that
I
fuzzy
see
back is
you.
really weird looking.
and all of your fuzzy glory.
It looks like it's a big.
There we
It looks
go.
like it's like
Oh, I
photoshopped
can
in, like
see
we're
the
photoshopped into
person.
some scene.
It's like you're absolutely. I think they need to perfect that because it's so weird.
looks
It's
weird.
like- it's almost like somebody's moving. It's like this.
Yeah, it was,
It's kind
it
of
was just
Right.
weird because like because it's not who was talking. It was whoever like leaned more forward.
That's so
Like
funny.
Tanya,
Like,
you'd be
hey.
talking.
Imagine with all this big
you'd
hair,
be up, and
probably
then,
like
go
drowning
back
out
and the
David. It's
Dave
like,
would
oh
pop
my
up.
God.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny with Tanya. We like to go to different rock shows and stuff at different venues, and Tanya is amazing at kind of getting guitar picks in her hair.
Let me tell you, I
Catches.
we were at
Yeah,
a
we
Green
like
Day
to have the
concert,
front.
and so I learned from that concert, the Green Day concert, where he's plucking them, and actually there was 2 instances that happened.
Yeah.
One he plucked at the first one, and my hair was teased out and it was big. It was like a magnet. The guitarist said,
Oh, get right in there.
I was like,
great.
wow, that's amazing. I gave it to Dave. And like halfway through the night, we're cheering or rocking and roll. I'm screaming, I'm like, you guys are amazing.
Yes.
And at the amazing part, he plucked another one right in my mouth. I caught it right between my teeth. And he stopped and he stopped and he looked and he was like, holy sh. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
Back
it.
to the
I
questions.
love it.
Getting back.
To the questions. All right, we got one here from
Erica, right?
Erica. So Erica asks, compared to other third world countries you visited, how safe do you guys feel in Peru? And that's for both of us, both couples. So we'll start with you guys. Mark, what do you guys think?
I felt fine. Actually, when people want to go to South America, I say, look, Peru's probably your safest bet. It's got great infrastructure for tourism. Yes, there's bad parts, but dude, there's bad parts every town in the world. But yeah, I usually say it's probably. I mean, I would say it's the safest one to go to.
To me, that and Ecuador are probably the safest in South America. Personally, where I
For
felt
where you've been.
most safe.
I mean, Uruguay
Um,
would probably be up there too.
Uruguay, yeah, would be too.
But you have so much to see in Peru that it kind of outweighs.
Yeah,
Oh,
Peru
yeah.
has so much, and the only time I was very conscious of myself and my surroundings and things was in parts of Lima. Generally speaking, like
Right.
I felt very comfortable in Cusco, and in Aguascalientes, I was careful just because there were gobs of people, whether they be tourists or the people on the street hawking goods. It's just a crowd, so I'm careful. But I never really felt uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and
no.
we had our kids and his parents, so like we had 6 people, 3 generations, and sometimes grandparents take almost as much looking after as a 5-year-old does, because
yeah, of
we had a
course.
5-year-old and grandpa, and they got the same amount of attention.
Yeah.
But
It's
we
kind of
agree
the same
about the
thing. If
safety.
they're getting cranky,
Yeah.
you're like, do you need to go get some ice cream? And then it was fine.
So funny.
Did you drink your milk, Mark? Make sure you drink
right.
that milk.
Did everyone go potty
That's
before
funny.
we get on the train?
And then my mom's like, oh, I gotta go.
That's great. Yeah, we completely agree with that, right?
Yeah, definitely agree on the safety. It didn't feel, never worried in Cusco at all. Certainly Sacred Valley, Aguas Calientes is totally fine.
Downtown Arequipa, where you stay and stuff like that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you're
Arequipa was
fine.
lovely.
Yeah.
I felt like I felt like we were the only tourists there.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, we want to get there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Lima was the only place, like downtown Lima. You kind of walk a little
Yeah.
bit off the city center. You feel a little bit. You kind of realize you're getting into some not great areas. Right. So be a little careful
Yeah.
up there.
I just saw that. What was that?
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Hold on. We gotta do this. Hold on. Just because of that.
Better make it for blue milk.
You gotta make up some more blue milk, but put a little Red Bull in it. Little Red Bull.
Yeah.
Gives you wings. Gives you wings.
Yeah, so like my day job's teaching, and so we're like getting towards the end of the semester, so it's like project grading time and exam time and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah, that's true.
burning both ends the last couple of weeks, but only 1 week.
And
like
of
it's
course, you got
sweet
the
next
kids
week.
wrapping up school. I mean, you guys are. I mean, come on. You're not the traveling. I put it this way: you guys are like godsends when it comes to traveling with 2 little ones and the way you are. So this is nothing, honey buns. Nothing.
You
are home.
gotta bring a
You're
dog with
not
you.
at home.
You gotta bring a dog with you
That's
next time.
more free. You can never go anywhere.
Yeah.
This is
I like
the
to see
longest
that one
thing
now. You
that's
got to add the
been
dog to the family. I guess on those trips. I want to see how you manage that one.
That's so funny.
She's like, no.
Our dog
That's
is
one thing
100
about-
pounds of barking fever.
Right.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
he's vocal and he's monstrously big. So I don't know. Maybe if we go on a road trip, but usually we leave him home and have a house sitter stay, and that works really well for us.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Peru.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs too.
Imagine.
I remember
There's a lot of
like
dogs.
especially in Cusco, kind of driving out into the neighboring towns. There were just dogs like lining the streets
Everywhere.
as we were driving.
And they're all,
Yeah.
they're all, for some reason, now this is how you know it's the owners. If the dog is really friendly, because all those dogs I felt to be like extremely friendly because there's no owners. So they're just doing their own thing. But if a dog is mean, it's because the owner's mean. That's my answer. Because all those dogs were amazing. I mean, there were
Right.
a couple
bunch
like,
of dogs.
I'm like an animal lover.
Cusco.
At Plaza Armas, and then also I remember seeing them on the hike up to Sacsayhuaman.
Was that? I was there. Oh no.
Yeah, you were.
excuse
That was
me?
the hike we went.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn. I try to be a sexy
I
woman.
know.
Saksai woman. Saksai woman.
That's awesome. So you
Oh,
guys,
so they told you
any,
that joke?
Yeah, I think I should make a T-shirt about the Sacsayhuaman.
Saksai woman.
Exactly. So if someone's going to Peru, and they had limited time, where should they go to first?
I would say Cusco and Machu Picchu. I mean, that's the 2 biggest things. I mean, those are places that are. I mean, if your Machu Picchu picture, like you're there, that is one of the. I mean, one of the
It's
new 7
iconic, right?
wonders of the world. But it's like,
It's the iconic travel picture.
Right.
yeah,
It's one of the
and
seven
and
wonders.
it's worth seeing too.
And
but
it
I
is
will say,
busy.
if you're gonna, what?
It's definitely busy for sure. There'll be some crowds there when you go. Hard to avoid
Yeah.
that.
But I would say if you're gonna go, pay the money to get a good guide,
Yeah.
because it's it's just the stones and everything, but you have someone that can explain it.
Right.
It brings it out so much more. And the thing is like Peruvians love their country, and so their guides will be like hilarious, awesome,
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Our
Yeah,
guide
we were very
there
like we
was-
had an amazing guide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were definitely fortunate. We had an amazing guide.
Yeah.
right? And I felt like with the long lines that were there, if you have a guide, you skip right past them. For some apparent reason, they know the connections, and so all these lines to get
Yeah.
to
Oh,
certain
yeah.
parts of the mountain,
Yeah.
you're like walking through
Like,
no
no,
problem.
you. Let's go.
And that alone.
Yeah,
might
I
get
know,
rid-
right?
Exactly.
I mean,
it was
your hours of time spent not standing in line is
In the sun.
it's huge. And we
Yes.
got up there. We were up. We were there early, and there were people. But I have seen other travelers' pictures, and they are far more crowded than ours were. Although I have to say that bus ride up,
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I kind of need some kind of medicine.
Oh, it's
I was like-
amazing.
Jocelyn,
No,
I feel you. Oh my God.
I can't believe how aggressive those drivers are. Because I remember we kind of set off, and the drivers like driving like mad.
I was crying.
And then like just crazy driving. And then I realized we're catching up to another bus in front of us. So I thought, oh great, we'll kind of
We're gonna
slow down. And the guy like passed him. He went up this tiny little dirt road. He like passed the
She
bus in
lost
front of us.
behind.
They were like, I swear we're going to have a head-on collision. And then all of a sudden they
Right.
veer. And I'm like, my God, we're 4 inches. Literally, like,
fortunately-
I can't even see road.
Yeah. See, Tanya was on the outside, so she had the nice seat.
Yeah, no, I had the window seat.
Yeah, it's a great view.
Like, we'll move. It's like, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I don't want to fall over.
Like, what if we unbalance the bus and we just
Exactly.
gently-
That's exactly what you
Oh,
said.
it was
too.
amazing.
Like,
So we found out the reason behind them driving so fast is because they don't get paid like folks do an hour. They get paid by the trip. So as many folks as they drop off, that's how they get paid. So up and down,
that's really
when they drop
stupid.
you off, the bus up top, they drop you off, they get paid. Down, they get paid. So it was no joke. They are
Oh,
winging
they
that.
should get paid for every. They should get paid for every human they get up there without them vomiting or like dying of fear. I mean,
Right.
I think that's a far better way
No.
of paying.
No, I want to get up fast. I want to get up fast. I don't want to
Whatever.
waste any
No
time.
waste time.
No wasted time. Get up there.
But it put a lot of, I don't know, it just, that's one of those
Oh, it
moments
was-
you just pray and you're like, oh my gosh, because I sat next to the window and
It
he was
takes-
like perfectly
Way down.
fine.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when they actually passed the bus in front of us. So I thought, okay, good, we're gonna slow down now.
And
Nope,
Dave's like,
no
oh,
let
that
up. Just went
wasn't
right
so
around
bad.
it.
And I'm like, why don't you sit next to the goddamn window on the way down? Because I'm not
It was
doing that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing view.
No, and that's just it. Like the thing is, once you get off the bus, it takes you a little while to like process that you survived.
Yes.
And so they're like, okay, come on, we got to go up this hill. And you're like, I'm alive? And then I'm like,
Oh, I know.
up this hill, I can't breathe. Wait, am I supposed to look at this? Like, no, keep going. We'll
that-
have better pictures later. I'm like, too many things at one time.
I
But that's-
think next time I might actually do the hike, do like the 1-day hike just to avoid that bus ride.
Right.
still
take-
But that's a good hike, though.
That's a very good
That looked like a good hike.
I don't know if I could do the rest. I mean, that's the one time, I was fortunate enough to say the one time I was really grateful to have a guide because when we got up to the top, to use the restrooms, it's 2 soles. I didn't have it, and the guide was like, just let her through. I was like, thank God.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the drivers, have you ever rented a car in Peru?
No, we did get driven around because when we went to visit my parents' friends, they came and picked us up, and they drove us around a little bit, but we never drove ourselves.
Yeah, they drive like crazy.
And I
though.
have no
remember-
desire to do that.
Would you ever drive in
Would
Peru?
you ever drive? Would you rent a car? We took a car. We didn't drive ourselves. We were in a van or car, I guess, from Lima to Huacachina,
Yes.
right to the dunes. And oh my God, I mean, it was just the guy was just flying down the road, passing everybody. And I was just kind of one of those single pass wins where you're kind of going
and
out
I'm like,
in the
dude, do you realize that's like an 18-wheeler coming your way, and you're in a bumble kind of car? It's like, seriously, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And they're like head on, like no problem. I'm like, are you okay driving fast? And he doesn't understand me at all. So he's like, perfectly fine, perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, we made good time though. We made great time.
Yeah.
There
But I will
have
say
been
this for you guys really quick. I do love having you on because it's the first time we actually were able to finish our food without it getting fully cold because you guys are sharing the screen
We're working
with
on it.
us. Thank you.
I'm glad we can help.
Yeah.
It's because we're so darn chatty.
So let me see if we got a couple more questions in here.
Yeah.
I know the third
Okay.
time's the charm. When Mark is yawning 3 times in a row, that tells me right away it's time for bed. It's time for bedtime. Netflix and bedtime.
Right.
Too much blue milk. You shouldn't have warmed it up. Warm milk always makes a person tired.
I'm
There's a
fighting
question
through.
from
I'm
Adolfo
fighting
wanting
through.
to
No
see
stop
one
me,
of the
Tanya.
paintings if possible.
Oh.
I don't know if you could show one of the paintings you picked up there.
Well, yeah, Adolfo actually asked if they could see one of the paintings if possible.
Here we go. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's
Full
amazing.
service. Full
That's
service.
okay. I was like, I was gonna say maybe they should take a picture and put it up on their Instagram. Everybody go
Right.
there.
That one.
Good
is
question,
a little-
Adolfo. Yay! You're gonna show us a painting. This is awesome.
So this is an oil painting
wow.
of Machu Picchu.
wow.
It's really small, but I just love it. And the guy did these. he had one of the 4 seasons. So spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I got summer, and my mother-in-law got fall.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
we both kicked ourselves for not having bought the other 2. So it would have been great if we had had all 4. And she's like, then when I go, you get all 4, and then you can give the 2 to the boys. And then, like the idea that we were going to pass these around our family, like heirlooms. And I think that probably cost me the equivalent of $25, $30.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like to get a piece
Jocelyn,
like that.
my birthday's coming up in June. Well, actually, Dave and I have the exact same birthday, June 18th.
Yeah, but keep that in mind.
Oh.
Keep that in mind. So when if you're thinking about those paintings, summer and fall, spring, those pictures.
Still time to mail us
Next
some
time we
goodies.
go
Just saying.
Peru.
Just saying. And Mark, when you go back to Peru, I want the big painting, no matter the cost. Don't worry
one?
about it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
You,
Now, did
you
you-
want the
did you
last
ship it
supper
back
where we're
separately?
eating guinea pig, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Last supper.
Exactly. Oh well, this has been really wonderful. I know we had a couple.
Really
How do you
fun.
think you need Peru? Okay, that's all the questions there.
Now, any other don'ts we should talk about that we haven't
there
talked
was
about
one other-
yet?
There was one other. I was
Don't
gonna ask you guys.
flush your toilet paper.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Now,
I hate that.
Is that that's probably more so in Cusco and all those areas versus say Lima now. If you're going to more Miraflores, they're pretty much
Yeah.
that the same you think in Miraflores? Ah, look at Mark's face.
Now, we
Please-
stay- we
Please
stay
tell.
in a-
Do
we-
tell.
It depends where you stay.
Right.
They'll actually have signs saying to
Don't.
throw it in the bin.
Right. Yeah, we were
And the
fine
thing is,
actually at
your-
our
your-
hotel
here's
in
the thing.
Lima.
Your
that.
hotel, you might be able to throw it down in your hotel, but if
Right.
you're out like at a bar or something like that, that
Yeah,
might
no,
not.
Oh no, I think those bar bathrooms probably a good place to avoid most of them. Yeah. Maybe good
Only
when
when
you're
you
hiking
really
Lincoln
need
Trail
it.
when you're young.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
so funny. So when don't you want to go to Peru?
I think it's February when they close down the Inca Trail to clean it. So if you're doing that then, or if you go during the really rainy season.
Oh,
when
is
was
that
it?
December and January?
No, we were there in January.
Oh, that's
December.
right.
Well,
I think it maybe
If- if-
is
if you
it,
go
October,
hiking-
November. I'm trying to remember now because I know
yeah,
we
I
had,
can't. There's one month that it's actually closed for the whole month.
I know
Mark's
we were
gonna
in
look it
Lima in
up.
November, and I remember thinking it was a rainy season at the time, so we kind of stayed in Lima and really explored Lima versus kind of going out
Yeah.
into the country.
Also, I would say if you are going to be going at some time, realize that rainy season and dry season are relative. It doesn't mean that it's dry. It just means that it's.
It's not raining all day. It's just raining sometimes.
Got it.
No.
Yeah, Okay, so typically, in non-corona,
Non-COVID
non-COVID years,
That's a good point. Yes.
non-pandemic years, they're usually closed in February.
Yeah.
So definitely that's the thing. But the thing is, I remember when I hiked the trail. I mean, it was literally like every night at 6:00 because it was like you had to be done hiking by like 4:30, and the guys the porters would get everything set up. So you'd have dinner at 5, and they're like, "Hey man, it's 5:30. You need to get in your hut now or your tent
Wow.
now." And so we would get like, "Oh, we want to talk for a bit." They're like, "Get in a goddamn tent." And we would
That's
get in,
awesome.
and then literally 6:00. You'd have like one light, and it just boom, and it just pour down until
January
About-
through April.
about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It would just I mean, straight up like remember in Forrest Gump where the rain just started?
Oh
Rain
yeah.
just-
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was
In
like
Vietnam,
that, like just
Vietnam.
it's over. So be ready, ready.
how
So
is
you
the
guys
food?
hear that? You hear
Yeah.
that, by the way. Make sure you pencil that down because if you're going during those times, good luck. You better have the best of the best umbrellas and make sure it doesn't wash you away.
Exactly.
It floats.
And how was the food from the porters? Were they good chefs? The porters
what?
when you're
So,
on your
The
hike.
port-
Do you remember
okay,
that?
so this is one of the things we always tell people: make sure you tip the porters and because you need to tip the porters and the cooks and stuff like that.
Right.
Because they're really doing a lot of work. And I remember the guys who were like, "We don't need to tip them." I'm like, dude, yes, you do.
They carry all your stuff.
No, you gotta
they
you gotta
carry
tip the donkeys. Yeah, the donkeys carry so much stuff too. Right?
Well,
carrots.
actually, when I went on it, this older guy was on with us, And they're like, "Are you sure you can do this, sir?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." And they had to put him on. They literally put him on a donkey and walked him back.
Oh my God.
Well, wherever we can get on. I was
Nice.
like, "Dang." But yeah, because I mean, it's not always easy. What was I gonna? There's another thing I was gonna say about it. Oh, the food. No, it's like breakfast was like an egg and a pancake, and then like dinner was like rice and some meat. I mean, it was nothing fancy. But I was not on the fancy hike. I was on the. I'm a college student,
hike.
and
Right.
I'm
Yeah, nowadays.
a $3 backpack. So
Yeah, nowadays
he
I'm
had
sure
a
it's really fancy if you
cinch
wanted
sack.
to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I would say, hey, if you are going to do the Inca Trail, you're going to do things like that. Always like don't take one. Take 2 like backup battery packs to charge your phone and stuff like that because there's nowhere to charge. Also, extra batteries for your camera because you will burn through. I mean, I think I went through like 4 camera batteries just in Machu Picchu. And when I went in '98, it was the old school film. Like.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, good
So
old
I
days.
didn't get some pictures, but.
So, like, if you have those solar ones too, that might not be a bad idea because when you've got sun, it's really intense sun. So, sunscreen's a must too.
Exactly.
Because,
Wear a lot of sunblock.
yeah, I mean, I rarely ever burn, and there were a couple days I got pretty well pink. Sunscreen's something to not sniff your nose at. So
I use it, but I'm very fortunate because my gorgeous skin, it's a natural protectant, so I don't really burn.
Yes.
I just get even more
Yeah.
chocolatey.
Kind of like Mark. Mark's the same way. He does not burn at all.
That's right. I go from butt ass white to lobster red. There's
Right,
no
exactly. Oh, I got, especially in Cusco, you need to really be careful because you're up. The sun's probably over 50%, stronger there than at sea level because you're so high up, and plus the sun just beats down on you.
But you can
yeah.
even use like high grade, the highest grade. I think Mark, you mentioned some of your videos. You use like 50, and even 50%
Yeah, I had 50 and we had a
sunblock, which is
70.
the
We had
highest.
like
Right.
the super baby because of my baby soft skin,
Yes.
especially up here.
yeah, and then there's me. I'm like 15.
Right.
I always take whatever's left over and
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, I just go for the baby oil.
I mean,
I like pure
made
baby
sure
oil.
people had hats and stuff like that because
Yeah,
it's just.
it's not a bad idea to have something like that. And
Josh,
hats for the
you look like
too.
you look like you have more of that olive skin, so you'll just kind of brown nicely. Where Mark will turn lobster before he turns brown, right?
It's the glorious.
Oh, you mean I can
Greek.
turn brown eventually?
Exactly.
No.
Wait,
Yeah.
Back to Cusco,
Wait a minute.
you'll be there in
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, after you peel off the lobster
right.
layer, it turns
Just-
like nice and black
Wait,
brown.
is
It's
that
great.
after I turn purple? Because I've gotten to purple.
Right. Yeah.
Purple.
No, that's called gangrene. That's not
You
good.
gotta be careful with the purple. The purple, you might need an extra bottle of aloe vera for that one.
It's called decomposition.
Use antibiotics.
honey.
All right. Okay. So when the skin flakes off, it's
Uh-huh,
like.
Yeah.
the brown.
So let me ask you, how do you guys feel about, I know one of your don'ts is the cash part. So how do you feel about cash? Is it important to make sure that they have an ample amount of cash when they're in Peru? And
Yeah,
what's your
and
thoughts on that?
what was nice is you could always pay with dollars, like as a backup, especially in like the tourist places, because that's like, I think it'll be priced in dollars
Right.
a lot of times. Getting the cat, like exchanging money sometimes can be a bit of a pain. Like if you're in Lima, there's ATMs there, and if you go to the banks, there's always the guys outside that give you the better
Right.
rate.
Give you a
and
special
that
deal.
kind of
Special deal for you.
Yeah, special deal. I mean, that's why what we always do is like, we get off the plane. I go to the ATM at the airport, no conversion, just give me the money straight and get some stuff then. And then it's kind of like a mix and match. Like when we were in Miraflores, we paid with card a lot of the times because it was kind of like a more controlled thing because I didn't want to be like whipping out cash a lot of places.
Yeah.
But when we were in, Cusco and Arequipa, it was no big deal, but it was like, we always try to use flash as little cash as possible, but it's good to have it because if you need to get that taxi, you never know, because restaurants will have the credit card sign outside. Might not always work, but I find Peru's actually better with that than a lot of places I've been to.
Yeah, we had no
But a lot
trouble
better with
really.
credit cards than the place I've been to in Europe. So
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, having ample amount of cash is helpful. I mean, they will take dollars, but obviously the conversion's a little different. So you just want to make sure you
yeah. That's why it's
Good
always
at math.
like take smaller bills. Don't take anything more than like higher than 20s. Like you want to have the small stuff. Because then it's like, then if they don't have the change, like, okay, I'm out $5, whatever.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
opposed to I'm out $50, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially those little boutique restaurants, they don't have the change. So you just gotta
Right.
Right.
Funny,
That's
huh?
it.
It's like,
And
it's
where
like
did you
in
find?
Scotland.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Where did you find the best deals on alpaca products and those types of things? I know we
Oh.
kind of found them better outside of the city, but
Yeah, we Mark's mom, one of her good friends
Stocked
from
up.
Rotary took us to this place in Arequipa, and it was just sort of on the outside of town. And it wasn't on the outside, but it was away from all the stuff you would see as a tourist anyway. And we kind of went a little bit nuts in there. The prices were
yeah, a lot of cash.
significantly less than everywhere else.
Wow.
I bought 2 sweaters and a Ruana, and I bought my mother one.
Didn't you get some for your sisters too?
Yeah, I got my sister's shirt. It was a bit, the
But
prices.
it was nothing compared to my mom.
Oh no.
No. Do they give you like
Happy
kind
about
of? Now, do they
it.
give you like the story of kind of how they make it and all that stuff? I know in the Cusco area they had a whole story that everybody had kind of went through, talking about the different ways they kind of created the colors with the natural ingredients
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah, we saw that in Cusco.
With the kids, and we took the kids
Yeah.
to that so they could see that, but we didn't really buy anything there.
No, in Arequipa, they were more focused.
Right.
So,
Right.
we don't need the story. We're gonna buy. Like
They
we
had
got
big
money
like
to
shopping
execute,
bags.
so-
It was, but compared to the prices at the place in Cusco, I mean, we're talking like half price almost on some stuff.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
part of the thing was that when we were there, it was after holidays or something, so it just things were marked down from
Wow.
last year's stuff or whatever. So
Yeah, but I mean, it was so inspiring that when you take the train back from Machu Picchu, they have like these people will like model some of the
Yeah.
some of the
on the
clothing.
train.
And so my mom's like, I could get more. I'm like, Mom, you already literally have a suitcase of stuff. Like you're done. Like Dad will not be okay with this. She's like, what if you get it and then I get it, but I say it's for you? I'm like, she's already got it.
She's like, what is he gonna do?
No.
Tell me to send it back?
Right.
and I are kind of that way. She'll be like, so this is what I want for Mother's Day. I'm gonna just purchase it now. Okay.
So how do you get it back? Do you guys have arrangements to ship them back, or like what's the deal? Like how do you?
We just took them back.
We pack really light. So when the 4 of us travel, we take 3 carry-on size suitcases. And quite frankly, we're used to doing 2 carry-ons for 4 people. So when we spread out to 3,
There's a lot of extra
there's
space.
a lot of space
that's
for
smart.
things like that. So yeah, and my kids were smaller then, so were their clothes.
So was I. So yeah.
Yeah. Just had less space in there.
We got a question for you guys from Erica. So Erica asks, what restaurants in Lima and Cusco impressed you the most? Do you remember the names?
I know the exact one I want to tell you in Cusco.
He's gonna have to look up
I have
the
to look
name.
it up.
I can
Right.
picture it too.
Yeah.
Me
It's
too.
on the
I
back.
can't remember the
it's
names.
On the square.
So no,
No?
it's not on the main. It's not on Plaza de
The
Artemis.
small square.
It's on the small square that is not on the side of the cathedral, but the other side of the square, on the other side of that.
You
It's
got
a
that?
small
Oh yeah.
local.
You guys got that?
We got.
Yeah, that one. Actually, and there's a colonnade on one side, and that's where I bought my llama. I bought a painting, a watercolor of a llama there too,
Oh, it's so
cool. and I
awesome.
named him Louis the llama, and he's beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love art. We never thought about there was several paintings, Josh, that we saw there, and I love collecting things. Dave knows from wherever we go. And
Yeah.
art's one of them, but just never mentally could process how the heck am I going to get this back? Because some of them are humongous. And I'm like, how am I going to get this
Well-
back? There's no way.
So I rarely buy anything that's very big, but I do often take one, maybe more than a foot long, as big as will fit in as long as will fit in my carry-on size suitcase, and a heavy duty cardboard tube. So I'll often
Smart.
carry one of those if I'm going somewhere, where I don't know if they'll already have them. Like if we're going to Paris, I know that the street artists there will have something to take things home in safely. And if it, for instance, is an oil painting or something, I just ask them to take it off the stretcher bars, and they'll just sit there and pop those little staples out and roll it up for me, and that's the way I do it. So
Awesome.
next
Smart.
time I go to Peru, I'm definitely taking a bigger suitcase.
No, it's
Yeah, all the-
definitely smart.
You might
I'll-
need two because you forgot our birthday is coming up. Don't
Yeah, I know. It's definitely smart. We tend to pack up too tight on the way there.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned. Like we're starting to learn. I remember when we first traveled, it was kind of weird. We packed way too much.
Oh, yeah.
We had a check
We all
bag
make-
and
we
two
all-
carry-ons,
we've
and
all
then as
done
we got more and more into traveling, as much as we did it, it got narrowed
Smaller
down,
and smaller.
and smaller. And then I would even
Right.
buy him like pants that were like convertible pants, so you can do the pants and they can convertible to shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was like, okay, so you
Yeah, it's
get four
amazing.
outfits in one.
Yeah, I can wear them for, for a whole week. Go shorts, long pants, shorts.
And now
long
that we know that the Pause for the World t-shirts can be worn 3 days without stinking, I just might have to order a couple of those.
Right.
Right.
Need some strong cologne.
Nobody promised that no stinking part. Let me just say that.
Just wear deodorant first, just to
Yeah,
secure it.
plenty of Old Spice.
Chicha por Gaston Acurio. It's on Plaza Rejoquijo. It's just chicha.com.pe. I think this is the one.
Show the camera.
I just lost it.
I just lost it.
I think this is the one. Wait, hold on. I got this way.
Chicha por Gaston
In a minute.
Acarillo.
Oh, there you go.
Video. Yeah, and like I think
Gaston
I'm pretty sure that's the one because it's a famous Peruvian chef and he's got some good stuff, like really good stuff.
Yeah. It was
And
a
that's
really
it's
nice
that
restaurant.
is it's on it's not San Francisco, it's on a different square.
It's on a little square.
We're definitely
It's a
writing
cute-
that one. Write that down, everyone, because that sounds
Right,
like a
so
fun
we're in
spot to do,
Cusco.
for sure.
Now,
Plazoleta
Lots of-
Recocijo.
yeah, Regocito.
It's right next to the Museum of Chocolate. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a lot of
Right
those
next
in
to
Peru.
Chocolate.
There's quite a few
Right
of
there.
those.
A lot of
like
Museos de Chocolate.
I think the original one is in, it's like right around Plaza de Armas. There's like the Museo.
Yeah, I mean it's like a block and a half away
This one
from
is.
it.
away from that.
Yeah, this
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you guys really quick. This comes from Sunny by Night from Instagram. What's been your scariest moment while traveling so far? I guess this is in general than just Peru. What's been your scariest moment? And you can't say flying into Cusco around the crazy mountain.
Oh no, that was not
that's
even the scariest part.
So for me, it was the day we were living in China, in Beijing, for a summer while Mark was teaching, and Liam was 2, and he got his hand stuck in the back hinge part of the door, like the
my
door.
goodness.
It was like a 9-10 foot tall
Metal.
steel and glass door, and
my
it
gosh.
closed on his hand.
Oh.
And so when it's in the hinge, you don't even know which way to open the door, right? And I'm flipping out. And we got his hand out. And of course, English was incredibly limited. I called Mark at the school he was teaching, and I'm screaming hysterically at him.
I can hear Liam screaming even louder over top of
Well,
it.
that's part of why I was screaming, because my kid's hand, I mean, it looked like it had almost gone all the way through. I mean, it was
Jeez,
it was
that's so
awful.
scary.
So his TA came along to translate. First, we went to the bone hospital, but they don't take peds. Then we went to the pediatric hospital, and they were trying to take x-rays without any film in the x-ray machine. And then a lady was wiping baby poop off the floor with a rag and then just left it. And then
God.
I was like, "What? We're going to that private hospital next door, because I don't care how much it costs. They actually have an x-ray machine
Yeah.
with film." So that was the worst. I mean, I thought my kid's hand, I thought we were going to lose his fingers.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
that's so
that
scary.
bad. Yeah,
my
so nothing was broken, believe it or not. Praise
Wow.
God. It was just bruised, all four of his fingers.
And the funny thing was,
bone.
the doctor who was the one that saw him, his like best friend is one of our fans. And so when I had his picture in one of our videos with Liam and him, he's like, "Hey, that's my buddy." He's like, "Yeah." He
Oh,
remembers
wow.
you."
That's so-
Like,
I saved his fingers. I saved him.
exactly.
And that man like took all of my fear and knocked it away like that. I mean, but that was the scariest moment because I thought my kid was going to lose, essentially 4 fingers.
Oh, my
It
goodness
was
gracious.
awful. So that was the
Okay.
scariest moment,
God,
and that's
that
the
is-
fun of
that
traveling
is-
with children.
That is scary.
I got nothing on that one. That is scary. Oh,
Exactly.
I'm done.
Exactly.
Woo.
I know.
That's a scary scene.
With
Yeah.
your
Goodness.
kids.
I'm just glad that he didn't. He has all fingers. They're both beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful boys, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
What was yours? Do you have a
And
scary
I'm
moment?
not getting brownie points for the birthday present that you're gonna send us in June. I'm just
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if we can get to Peru somehow before your birthday,
Right.
I'll pick it up for you.
even after. Don't worry about it. It's belated. Oh wait, hold on. There goes our little.
Here's our
princess.
rescue we got in early March.
This is right before the quarantine. We had
Yeah.
we had to
Hey.
put one of our kitties down who was not. She had cancer. So of course took it
Yeah.
really, really hard. And Dave's like, we just got to get right back up on the horse. And then our other cat just seemed really depressed without our Holly around. So we got this little Spitfire, and she's a hot
Yeah,
mess.
she runs the house, but
Is
about
she
8 months old
young?
now and runs the house.
So her name is Bailey. The other one is Brady. And it's
There you go.
from Boston originally. So Brady,
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Brady.
So, but now
we
with
might have to change that.
now
name
with
because
Brady
no longer
leaving, we got to
there.
change the name.
Call him, what are we gonna call him?
Oh, I don't know. Whoever replaces him. Stidham.
Aaron
Stidham.
added the same ring.
So if you guys have any questions, I don't want to tie them up too long. I know
Yeah.
it's been really wonderful. We've had a lot of great input from them, for sure. We definitely really appreciate.
Thank you for
guys
inviting
coming on.
us.
I
Hopefully
so
you guys have
enjoy
a
chatting
Wednesday-
with y'all.
If you guys do the Wednesday and wine, and we know when you bust out the alcohol, I'll make sure to get a couple bottles. If you want to have us on, we'll be happy to come on and drink with you. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
We have a question from one of our fans. It's
Fine.
like, now, do you guys go to Vegas very much?
Oh, good question.
Um,
I've never been.
Justin's face.
It's okay.
She's like, where?
I am so embarrassed by that fact. I've never been to Vegas.
She's like,
know.
oh, is
Yeah,
that
but in New York
in
City.
I haven't.
America?
Oh, the other one.
That's fine.
You mean Vegas? Is that in
Right.
the U.S.?
So you don't got any don'ts of Vegas for us?
So no guns in Vegas. You know what? When,
so
when you
I
can
went to
travel
Vegas for a, I went.
when you can
What?
travel to Vegas, we're gonna all go to Vegas. We're gonna show you guys a good time because we've been going quite a bit. We've got quite a
Yeah.
good following from there as well. So we're thinking of meet up. It'd be fun. The don'ts of Vegas coming at you. The don'ts.
You
Yeah,
can get
because
some great
I think
buffets.
when I was in Vegas. Last time I was in Vegas, I don't think I was doing the don'ts yet because I had like the shocks of Vegas, the love and hates of Vegas, what's known for you to Vegas, free stuff in Vegas, kids in Vegas. But see, we gotta do the don'ts.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And see, Jocelyn, I'm telling you, the don'ts. Don't not bring Jocelyn to Vegas for the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, just kind of swing
That's
down.
honest. Vegas's food is just amazing. That was my. Like, I don't gamble or anything like that, but like just for the food.
Yeah, we're the
my buddy and I
same.
that I went with, we're like, we'd go back for the food. I know.
That's-
For a
that's
while, I
us
was
too.
like, wait, I thought they were based like in Texas. I saw these like Vegas videos. I was like, you had like that string of a lot of Vegas stuff in a row.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I
Hey,
could have sworn
but
they were.
Hey, you got
tell ya.
nonstop Southwest flight, man. It's
Let me-
easy.
Let me tell you, it's the food. Like, I love to eat, and the thing is, Vegas has some really dynamite. Like, I've been to Vegas way back in the day. I used to work with production companies, so we put together like Tiesto concerts and all these big celebrity concerts out in Vegas once upon a time. But it was more about work. You didn't really kind of focus on the food, and I was a lot younger, so eating as much as I like to eat, it's not good for the body. You know what I mean? But now I'm
Fabulous.
hitched. I'm married.
That's
so
right.
I don't have to look good for anyone but my hubbies.
Yeah, we can
so-
go to that Bacchanal buffet and the 500 different items they have on the menu.
Yeah, so now the food is amazing. Like, so it kind of dawned on us, we do love, we didn't think we'd love it as much as we have gone out there and just the experience alone. So we thought, of course, that's a great way for us to kind of, share our content and videos of Vegas. And we had a lot of plans before this coronavirus, we were actually booked to go out there every other weekend. And we had different kind of ideas and different things set up, not just in Vegas, but also outside.
Right.
Kind of like doing little trips outside and really show like the life of Vegas.
This was like March, April, and of course out the window.
But Mr. Rona, Mr. Rona got us. Mr. Rona 19 took charge.
I hate Mr. Rona.
Mr. Rona.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to divorce Mr.
What was
Rona.
the name of the barbecue place?
I know exactly.
The barbecue, because you had the all-you-can-eat like barbecue, Dave, and then Tanya, you had the burger. Was it
Yeah,
burger?
that was rolling smoked.
Had, like onions up.
Oh, that was like about a foot high burger. That was sick.
Yeah, it was called the Outlaw Burger. It was actually the Travel Channel put together. They said it was one of the best burgers in Vegas. So of course we saw these plaques and like, I'll get that, no problem.
Was it?
It was really, really good. But
Yes.
I'm the kind of girl where I need to be able to manage it, and it was so goddamn big. I didn't even know how to compress it.
I know.
I mean,
Because I watched it, I'm like, how the heck are you gonna?
You had to eat it. I knew we were in trouble when the server came out and was laughing, saying, "Who got the outlaw burger?" He's like laughing
let
as
me
he's
tell
bringing
you,
it over.
He brings the burger. I was like, he puts it down. And he's like,
We're in trouble.
And it's up there.
He thought it was the funniest
I'm
thing.
like, what are we getting into? And of course, I realized after I ate it, I was wearing half of it versus eating it. So
Yeah, it's pretty monstrous.
Not on your shirt than in your mouth.
Yes, it was all over my shirt, not my side. I actually said as a tip in the video, ladies, don't wear white because you won't be leaving white.
Yeah,
They won't
but
be white when you leave.
yeah, but if you go there, get the burn ends. The burn ends are great.
The burn
They're
ends
rolling
are
smoke.
amazing.
Yeah,
The burn ends
yeah,
are
you were
amazing.
all about that in the video. I'm like, dude, you're killing me. I so want those right now.
Yeah, no, those are good. The burn ends.
But it's
Mark
amazing. Like I
loves
hope
it.
they do. It's one that was the original one, the Rolling Smoke, and one of the things about which is great for their particular barbecue, all you can eat. It's not like you go up and you serve these different places. It's actually done in the back kitchen, so it's a little different style of all you can eat. You have to finish what's on your plate. You can't really share, although we did,
Yeah.
and then you can go back and get more. But it's a very different
Because the
style.
burger
It was
wasn't
wonderful.
I mean,
Yeah, we're not gamblers, but we love to eat, and Vegas is definitely known for that. So, yeah, maybe we can get
Yeah,
on
no,
one of these days do Vegas together.
We'll get like a big RV and
There's
head that way.
Container city there. I want to. Have you guys been? There's a container city of some sort.
We haven't been there yet,
No,
but
not
there is
yet.
a container city there, right? Which is
I'm
very
really
popular.
Dying to see that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see that. I studied architecture in a manner of speaking in school, and I had a friend who did a thesis project on that. And I've always since that moment, I've always been really interested in that kind of reuse. And I don't know, I think it's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the idea of limitations, but kind of being unlimited and stacking and like Lego blocks, right?
Exactly. And it's really cool
Yeah.
in how, if you have that artsy mind, and I'm sure you do, how you can take like a container, and the moment you walk into the container, you forget that you're in a container.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, where am I? Is this
Well,
really
it's kind of like a tiny
container?
house. It's like a tiny house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a metal confined
Right.
tiny house. A shipping container.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so pleasant.
yeah, I don't have claustrophobia, but I think I do now.
Exactly. Well, this has been really, really wonderful. I think a lot of comments that are coming in are talking about how they're missing trips right now. Some folks were actually planning on going to London,
Yeah, Madrid.
Madrid, but their trips have been
Yeah.
canceled. A couple
Yeah.
folks that were going to Vegas, and I'm sorry about that. I mean, I'm definitely sorry that obviously a lot of us are in a position. Mark
All
and
there
Joss as
together.
well. We're all in this together, and obviously this is a way that we can all kind of come together and stay apart at the same time and have fun. And we're so grateful that you, Mark, and Justin could actually come on here and do this with us. We're really appreciative. Like, obviously, you guys are ginormous, in my opinion, in the travel space on YouTube, and we're kind of just getting
Thank you.
started in a way. So,
Hush now, hush now. Because you guys were on, you had a live feed before, or was it on Instagram? Was it an IG live, or was it on YouTube live when I was like on just chatting with you, and you're like, hey, we should do something together. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
it was. I think it was our Peru. We were talking about Peru. And it was YouTube Live. And
It was
you
probably
came
on
in.
here, yeah.
And thank
Right.
you so much, by the way, for that super chat. That actually bought me some extra Pisco sour juice, Mark.
I'm glad I could help out.
We definitely appreciate that. I mean, I know it's not, you guys are very busy. You lead a very busy life as well. On top of this, Mark, on top of teaching, and Josh, you guys have the boys in school and everything else. You try to maintain your YouTube channel and your sites, and just taking an hour and a half or two, or however how long we have you guys on here this evening. It's really grateful, and we appreciate you guys for doing that.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you for
We've
inviting
enjoyed
us.
it. You guys are such fun. I enjoyed tonight very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I'm, like,
Thanks everybody
blushing,
for
and
watching.
Yeah, well, I'm blushing. And
Yeah, that's a blush.
And that's a blush. It's hard to do because I'm mocha. But
That's a blush.
I'm blushing
Oh,
because
yeah, you're
of the fact that
blushing.
you guys actually even watch some of our videos. It's like, yay! I'm like, yay!
Right, wow.
It's,
You guys are
it's
great.
the
Well,
world
I
coming together.
When I really started watching you guys, you'd done the Fremont Street Live. I'd seen you before, but like when I actually sat and watched all you, it was Fremont Street Live, and you were going there. It was like mid-March or something like that.
That was right before everything got shut down. Right before.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember like because my friends were telling me about in Europe, like, oh, not gonna be too many people there soon, and you're like, hey, we gotta go home.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because we did the strip the night before, then did Fremont Street Live the next day. We were trying to kind of keep the social distancing, but of course it's kind of tough. It wasn't as crowded as normal, but we were kind of walking around trying to keep the 6 feet.
Yeah, I mean that's when it really felt real. Like
Yeah.
for us, it was like you're thinking, okay, you're following the guidelines and everything else, but of course this is right before when and the whole Vegas decided to go dark.
Right, they had shut
And-
the buffets down already,
Right,
but not
it was
anything else.
It was just really that feeling of this is real. This is probably not a good time to be out here. We had just filmed it. And initially, we were going to hold all the Vegas videos until things got back to normal because you know how it is. I mean, you put something out, and if it's not really travel time, you may not get the viewership.
Right.
You're on a whole different level. But for us, it's kind of like.
No, but
No,
that's
it's
still happening
still
to
happening to
us.
us.
It's a
too.
huge
Yeah.
impact, right?
But we did feel like at some point, it's like you can't stop living, and so it's like if we can
Yeah.
put them out there, and people that love Vegas, they want to see them, and eventually we're going to get through this. And when we get through this, there's something that you now have as an arsenal. Just like Mark, your videos, and guys, definitely check out Wolters World. We left their information below. They put out phenomenal videos, tips, tricks, all the good stuff, the do's, the don'ts of different places, and especially Peru. There's numerous. He's got a playlist.
Yeah, you got a lot of
full
those, yeah.
Things from the food to what the altitude, the oxygen Joselyn's on, the whole nine yards.
Right, a lot of don'ts and kind of don'ts that you need to make sure you don't do. Or
Exactly. Don't not go watch them because
No one
we
wants to
won't
watch
like
everything
them.
what you do. They just want
Exactly.
the next
Do.
don't.
Wait, what, Mark? What'd you say? You need some toilet paper? You do?
Like don't not enjoy the coca leaves.
You do, honey. You do.
Yes.
Oh God, I think that says it all right there. Well, thank you guys both for joining us this evening. We really do appreciate that, guys. Definitely go check them out.
Thank you.
For sure. Mark and Joselyn, thank you again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well,
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for everything.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Good night, guys. Woo! Mark, Wolters World, amazing. I mean, we really hope you guys enjoy this evening. I just want to rummage through some of the things. A lot of you guys have put a lot of fun, comments in there, and Mark and Joselyn, really appreciate that. We do appreciate the fact that you are staying up with us during this time. If you have not already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified when we go live just like this. We may try and talk to some other travelers as well on here as well. Let's see what we can do. It's kind of a fun thing for us to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And we're all in that same space. They're really beautiful human beings. Definitely go check out their YouTube channel, also woltersworld.com if you want to check out some of the things that they have going on. They write amazing blog posts, keeping you informed of what's going on in their daily lives. They have some great merch. Definitely go check them out for sure. And everyone, it's been such a fun time.
been great.
I mean, did you guys enjoy tonight? I just want to know. Give us a thumbs up. Let me know in the chat if you've enjoyed, us chatting with Mark and Joselyn and kind of Peru. It was fun. I mean,
Oh, it was great.
I will tell you this. It kind of took me back to like Peru. I felt like, wow, this is kind of that moment where we really miss Peru.
Oh, it was
You
an
know,
amazing trip for us.
Yes.
It was just a kind of another world to be in.
Right.
Hiking
and
Sacred
we
Valley.
wanted to do like
Yeah.
the Amazons. We have like so many plans to
Oh,
come up with
yeah.
different ideas and different parts that people were talking about Arequipa.
Yeah.
So it's still to come. I think there's you know, we are all going to get through this. You know, obviously it's still a tough time, and as we slowly start getting back to some sort of normalcy, we'll get back there. You know, we'll all get back there. And so all you that have, you know, I think some of you have mentioned your trips to Madrid and London.
And Peru, of course, too,
that got canceled.
And of course Vegas.
And of course
we
Vegas.
know that, yeah.
So it's probably for, obviously, the best right now. We had tons of trips that we had to cancel, postpone, and still pushing out to this day. But we're all doing the best that we can. And we're so grateful to have each and every one of you joining us this evening. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our moderators who keep everything sane and cool and reminding us that there's questions and comments. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Hidden. Certainly appreciate that. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we do that. Also, we do go live. For those of you that are joining us later on, we do go live on Mondays, and we post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays most of the time.
And what about Thursday this week? Are we going live?
So we may go live this Thursday.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. We actually may be cooking.
Cooking in the kitchen?
If we don't get to it
We'll
tomorrow,
see.
it's going to be
We'll
live.
see. Yeah,
So I'm just
exactly.
saying.
We'll see.
So stay tuned for that for sure. Follow us on Instagram. All the links that you probably see through the scrolling menu right there. You'll see those for sure. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really, wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That was
so much fun. And again, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Joselyn, for joining us this evening. And don't forget, Joselyn, June 18th, the birthday.
That's right.
We like that artwork, summer and fall. Just saying.
Right.
All right. As always, everyone, thank you, good night, and we look forward to seeing you
On the road.